Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the video. It's your boy Simon here, and I'm here with something a little different today. As you guys know, most of the content on this channel so far has been footy themed, soccer themed, whatever you choose to call this sport. I've had lots of soccer reactions up on the channel recently, a little bit of FIFA content, both of which will continue in the coming weeks. Now I started that Ballon d'Or series of reactions. We've reacted to Simonson and Ronaldinho so far. If you guys want to check those out, they are up on the channel now. I mentioned FIFA. If y'all want to see that, I stream every single weekend league over on Twitch. Link is down in the description below. You guys will also see all of my socials up in the top left-hand corner of this video. So anyway, like I said, something a little bit different today. I'm going to be going through my Euro 2020, technically 2021, but you know, COVID, it's still being branded as Euro 2020. I'm going to be going through my Euro 2020 fantasy picks. It's basically like Fantasy Premier League, although it's a little bit different. These are the dates for the tournament. You guys can see up on the screen. It is a month long. So June 11th, which is tomorrow from the time this video is being uploaded, until July 11th. And yeah, I'm going to be going through my picks for the fantasy team. So first off, I just want to show you guys some helpful websites. Links to all these pages will be in the description below, by the way. So yeah, this is all from the official UEFA website, but basically this is like a little bit of an introduction into the scoring and kind of how the game works. Again, like I said, very similar to Fantasy Premier League. You know, it is a little bit different. You can do substitutions manually or automatically throughout the match day. You can change your captain during the match. You get a 100 million euro budget, which increases once the round of 16 starts. It's pretty interesting. There's a lot of information here, but like I said, I will leave links to that in the description below. Here's another article just showing you the set piece takers and the main goal scorers and whatnot. Good bargain players for each team if you guys are interested in that. And here's the general scoring. I'm not going to stay on here long, but if you want to see the breakdown of how every player in every position gets their points, you can pause on the screen here, or again, go to the link in the description and see this for yourself. Anyway, getting into my team, I'm going to start with the starting goalkeeper, go up to the forwards. I'm going to wrap back around to the bench later for reasons you guys will see later. But basically, starting in goal, I am actually going to go with an interesting pick here. Hiradeki, I believe is how you pronounce his name, only 4 million, selected by 35% of players, so a lot of people have the same idea as me, but the reason why I'm picking him is I believe he's the main starting goalkeeper for Finland. You guys can see their opponents. Other than Belgium, their group is not that bad. After the group stage, you get unlimited transfers. So you kind of, when you make your initial team, you want to pick for the group stage, and then you can kind of just get a fresh, clean slate going on into the knockout stages. So yeah, his fixtures aren't bad, and he's very cheap. That's why he's my starting goalkeeper. And my backup goalkeeper, I'm kind of just really going with any 4 million keeper. It doesn't really matter. Just another backup. That's the cheapest they go, is 4 million. Going on into the defense, guys, it's a bit of an interesting one. You guys can see we have 92 million euros left over, and this is where you want to start strategizing. You know, obviously I've only picked my keeper so far. Just probably, I would say, the least important position. My first pick is actually not going to be Ruben Diaz, despite the fact he's selected by 41% of players, more than anybody else, and despite the fact he won Premier League Player of the Season. I'm going to be going with João Cancelo, and they're the same price and they play for the same team. My thought process in picking Cancelo is that he offers more attacking potential, and obviously Portugal's group is kind of the group of death. They have Germany and France to play. Hungary, you'd expect them to do well there. Hopefully get some clean sheet points with Cancelo or Diaz, whoever you decide to go with, if you decide to get one of the Portuguese guys. But yeah, I'm hoping this guy can get some assists, which are worth 3 points per player, I believe, regardless of position. My next pick is Matthijs de Ligt, which is a bit of an interesting one because I've seen a lot of people saying they expect the Netherlands to kind of be underperformers of the season. But the reason why I'm going with him is, I mean, look at this group. They play Northern Macedonia, Austria, and Ukraine. I would expect multiple clean sheets in that game. Maybe not clean sheets in every game, but I think given the fact he's 5.5, you know, he's not 6 or 6.5 like some of the other players maybe. He's a pretty reliable pick, I would say, going into the group stage. My third pick is going to be a United boy. I pointed at the wrong side of my shirt over here. A United boy by the name of Luke Shaw, 6 million, another premium pick, but was United's best defender, I would say, last season, and probably the best left back in the Premier League. I have big expectations for England. I hope they do well, and the group is not awful. I mean, Scotland and Croatia could cause problems, but then you've also got the Czech Republic. Overall, it's not bad, and I expect them to be a pretty good attacking defensive option. Hopefully we'll get a decent amount of points. By the way, guys, I know I said I would wrap back to the bench later. I kind of just picked this backup goalkeeper because it popped up automatically when I picked my starting goalkeeper, but we're going to get into the midfield now and then circle back around to the two defenders and the midfielders on the bench. My first midfield pick is actually going to be N'Golo Kante, selected by 44% of players, so I'm kind of going with the hive mind, I guess you could say there. He's only 5.5 million. France have a hard group, you know, Germany and Portugal is not ideal. Kante doesn't offer very much goal threat, but what he does offer is basically, don't want to say a guaranteed 90 minutes, but he should be playing every game, right? You know, he's been pretty much in his position, the best player in the world this season. So I'm kind of just picking him as not only a cheap, but also a consistent, but probably low scoring option. My next pick is Mason Mount, 7 million, selected by 30% of players, so again, going with a relatively common option. But I think for only 7 million, he provides decent goal threat. You know, again, like I said with Luke Shaw, I have good expectations for England, especially given this group stage. Mason Mount is young, he's energetic, and well, now as we all know, he is a Champions League winner, so I'm expecting big things from him in the Euros. Should be one of England's main attacking players, you know? Mason Mount is my second midfield pick. The video is getting kind of long, so I'm going to give you guys my next two midfielders kind of as a double wombo combo. These are both brilliant players, absolutely brilliant players in my opinion, who should be total locks for their team, getting plenty of minutes and whatnot, as well as decent returns, at least in Bruno Fernandes. The other pick is Joshua Kimmich. Bruno Fernandes, 10.5 million, one of the more premium options, but we all know he just had 30 goal contributions in the Premier League, as well as got to the Europa League final, with his team, unfortunately losing, as you guys can obviously see, as I've already said. I am a Manchester United fan, so it's unfortunate we lost there, but I expect big things from him. You know, if it's not Cristiano Ronaldo, it's probably going to be Bruno Fernandes pulling the strings for Portugal. And then Joshua Kimmich is, again, in a hard group, but he's kind of just there for consistency reasons. You guys can see 45 million left, and we still have to pick our three attackers, so saving a lot of my money for there. I didn't mention it, but it's in all the rules that you guys can read with the links in the description. But basically, you want to be starting off with players in your lineup that start their games, whether they get substituted off or not, because you can do manual substitutions during the game isn't that relevant. But what you want is players who you know will start. So, you know, because if they don't start, you know, you can't sub them in if they don't play. But if you know they're going to play initially from the start of the game, then that's kind of the best road to go in my opinion. But my first attacking pick is going to be Robert Lewandowski. Should be the Ballon d'Or winner over Kante. Some people disagree with me, but unless something crazy happens in the Euros to change that, I think Robert Lewandowski should be the Ballon d'Or winner. I think he's been the best attacking player in the world, probably this past year and a half, maybe even 2 years, in my opinion. Perhaps a bit of a hot take for some people, but you know, he broke Gerd Muller's 49-year Bundesliga goal scoring record and only played 29 games. I'm picking him because he is cheaper than the likes of Ronaldo and Mbappe, only by $500,000, but what he offers to me is decent fixtures. They play Slovakia in matchday 1, matchday 2 they play Spain, which is difficult, but you know, I don't think Spain are necessarily like the top tier right now of international teams. They're obviously still one of the best teams in the world, but you know, I would rather, if I was Poland, I'd rather be playing Spain than probably England or Portugal or France. That's just my opinion anyway. Maybe even Belgium. Again, maybe another hot take, but you know, I think with Sweden as well in matchday 3 of the group stage, he has two very favorable fixtures right here, and he's obviously the focal point of his team. My second attacker is nobody other than Cristiano Ronaldo. You know, if Messi was here, I'd probably pick Messi, but he's obviously going to be in the Copa America. He does not play for a UEFA national team, obviously being from Argentina. But yeah, Portugal, hard group. I don't think it matters. I think Ronaldo's fixture proof. Selected by 20% of players. A lot of people agree with me, and I expect him to basically score loads of goals. You know, he popped off in, I believe it was also a group of death in the World Cup. And you know, despite the fact he is 36 years old, I still expect him to be a more reliable option than maybe some of these other players you see here, like Lukaku Harry Kane, or even Mbappe. My last forward pick is a bit of a cheaper option, but somebody who has also had a hell of a season, scored 30 goals in all competitions, I believe, for Villarreal, was one of the top goal scorers, I believe, second only to Lionel Messi in La Liga, and that is nobody other than Gerard Moreno. Obviously scored a goal against United for Villarreal in the Europa League final, which I somehow don't fail to mention to bring up in every single video, but you know, it pains me. Painful moment for me as a United fan. Like I said, this guy scored 30 goals, and I actually pulled up the Euro squad here for Spain. Kind of off topic here, but I wasn't too familiar with who was picked. You guys see Gerard Moreno is one of the forward options, and then, you know, Morata, Fernan Torres, Adama, Oyarzabal, they don't have the craziest forward options. I could see Morata getting a decent amount of game time for the striker spot, but obviously Moreno is really the only other central strikers that they really have. And as far as I know, he had a better season than Morata, so that's why I've gone with him for only 6.5 million euros. And then here we go, guys, 15.5 million pounds left, euros, excuse me. And we are on to the two defensive picks and the midfield pick for my bench. First is going to be Pau Torres. Again, another Villarreal player, had a hell of a game against United in the Europa League final. But for 4.5 million, you know, I expect him to get a decent amount of game time. You know, in terms of center backs, they have Laporte now, which is interesting, but they don't have Ramos, they don't have Piqué. Azpilicueta could play at center back, but could also be used as a fullback. Garcia, I don't expect to get more minutes than Pau Torres, so I think he's, for 4.5 million, I think he really is a fantastic option. You guys have to consider these substitutes can be very important. You can shift them in and out even during matches in this fantasy game. So I think it's beneficial to have options on your bench that do still play. You know, you don't want to completely cheap out on your bench, go with a crazy starting lineup, but then have no flexibility in terms of tactical changes. My next defensive pick is going to be somebody that I kind of had their namesake, Simon Kjaer, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He's going to be a guaranteed starter for Denmark, I would say. He's probably their best center back as far as I know. And they play Finland, Russia, and Belgium. So maybe not the best fixtures, but, you know, I think 2 out of these 3 games are somewhat preferable for them. Obviously, you know, Russia, Denmark, Finland, Denmark, you don't really know which way the game's going to go. At least I don't, but I know this guy for 4.5 million starts for his team. I believe he's even the captain. So I've kind of just, again, gone with a player here who's going to be a consistent option in terms of playing time. And then my last midfield pick is going to be Yuri Tielemans. I've chosen this guy because I really don't have any other players from Belgium in my team, so I figured I'd get one in. I might start him over Kimmich. I guess it depends on the fixtures. I'll have to look. They play Russia first, they play France, so I'll probably swap them or whatnot. But yeah, this is the starting team. I also had a link to a mini league, by the way, guys. If anyone watching this wants to join, you can compete head-to-head against me, as well as some of my friends and family, and we can hopefully have a blast playing and updating our teams every week and seeing who's the best. Anyway, that's my pick. Sorry if this video was kind of all over the place and perhaps even maybe a little bit long-winded, but yeah, here is my team. I've explained all my rationale for picking everybody, so yeah, that's why this video is probably a little bit long, but I appreciate everybody watching and tuning in. If you made it to the end of the video, you are a legend. If you didn't and you're still hearing me, you're still a legend. Thank you so much for the support on the channel so far, guys, and peace out.